out on into Champion Select. J-Team on the blue side, Talon on your red side.
We'll have to see, as that is going to be an initial respect ban against River. Just trying to chip down most of the aggressive level 3 junglers, probably forcing out something out of River instead.
You might as well. He absolutely loves the Rek'Sai. He's not going to be able to play it, and some teams actually have started to ban that out against River as well. It's going to be a little block banned away from Candy.
All right, possibly, yeah. I don't think Nessie has ever picked up a Zoe just yet. He did play LeBlanc and Syndra once, at least once. Now that's going to be at least being chipped away from the draft, and a lot's going to be open here, actually, in this particular match, Opal.
Yeah, the Ornn is going to be taken away. There is the possibility now that the Senna just gets banned out here by Talon. That usually is the go-to. As the Felios is already banned out.
Oh.
But no, they'd rather get rid of the Olaf from Hana. Does Levi wish to play the Senna?
That's the thing. You get the Senna, or if you don't get it at all, then Talon is going to get at least the Tom Kench to deny that safety away from J-Team. And that could be a potential set Tom Kench, or you lock in your important jungler right now before J-Team decides to get that. Either get Sejuani, which has been very effective in our week 4 day 3. And at this point, either get the Jarvan 4 River. And I haven't seen a lot of Lee Sin in comparison to when the split started. The heat spots has definitely shifted. And that is interesting. So they're going to lock in this Varus for Unified.
Maybe the answer here toward the Senna. We have also seen the Varus pop up into the mid lane quite a bit.
I am not going to believe that hover.
I'm not going to believe that hover either. I feel like our graphics team has been playing with our hearts a little bit.
Probably enjoying the
Kench setup. That makes sense. That's going to get locked in.
This is a fast draft, and I like it from J-Team. So you do have that sort of air quote infinite scaling in the form of souls from Senna. You have that Tom Kench to keep your bot lane safe, to just help transition the Senna to that point of the game. If things just go awry, you do have that Renekton at least to work with your early to mid game, which will be an infinite, or rather a really scary threat against the squishies. But there I go. There you go. Lee Sin being picked up.
So River going to have his Lee Sin, opting for that since the Rek'Sai has been banned away. Pretty similar playstyle, looking for the early ganks while they can. Now into our second ban phase. We've seen most of the answers, and we're going to likely see the jungle pool narrow down for J-Team as Talon go ahead and ban out the Sejuani right away.
Actually pretty interesting. They pick up Lee Sin, and Rek'Sai is not going to be around, so it would have been a nice counter to that. Now they're increasing or decreasing the pool of junglers to select from by Hana. And you're probably going to be squished towards that corner of getting that J4 if you want that early level 3. Even removing a Gragas as well. So they're really, really forcing Hana into that Jarvan 4 pick perhaps, and meanwhile J-Team removing Azir. I'm curious what Nessie is about to play, because sometimes it's more of a, wow, I've never seen that before, or, oh no, this could be trouble.
Oh no, this could be, oh no. Candy though, not getting his Azir. That's going to be a little unfortunate there. Candy's been kind of relying that when the rest of the pool is being taken away. And the Bard ban actually, this time though, coming out from J-Team instead of Woody picking it up for Talon. I'm interested. Hanabi on that set. What do they wish to pair that up with elsewhere on the map? Looking toward their bot lane.
You know, for J-Team, I feel like...
Hello? We're going to get ourselves possibly the cannon locket? Oh no. Does this mean we have the support set for Talon again?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh wait. Okay, I'm not gonna be excited because we've been fooled once. We've been fooled twice.
Well, you feeling the Jax jungle?
I want to. Oh yeah.
Jarvan. All right. See, they're just a little off on the cursor. The cannon one, you're not off on your cursor though. That is interesting to see them lock it in, because that likely means they'll go up top toward Hanabi, which unless it's like a weird
Candy mid, Kennen. Wait!
Do we see it? Do we see it? Oh, okay. So Nesty, of course, was the one player in the league to pick up the mid lane Garen. And absolutely just run full head first into the fight. Sometimes it worked out. It ended up winning, so you can't argue with it. But instead, they opt into the Galio, which similarly can try and jump into the fray. Now, Talon's draft, we have to wonder, what is everything going? It kind of relies on this final pick.
Which is where because we've seen...
Oh, no.
Okay, it's going to be set support. Yep.
All right, so likely going to be seeing a set support. This is now, what, our third one in the PCS? It's currently 0-2 when it comes to the win totals, and Talon was the team to play it last. It kind of makes sense, though. This is coming out from Big Papa. Again, he prefers the Korean style of League of Legends, and the set support has been pretty frequent over there in the LCK. But now for Hanabi, he gets to actually play a Kennen, which is kind of nice carry change up for him. A lot of damage threats for Talon.
A lot of damage threats, a lot of huge team fights, wombo combos coming in. It opens up for a really decent gank as well. It sets up for River at top side if you want to shut down Rest early, because once he gets ahead, it's just going to be a pain in the behind. And I'm just excited to see this composition because it just spells fight, 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 fight.
Oh boy. Too many fights for me. But now, like you mentioned, we're going to have ourselves a bit of a tussle, I do believe, this one. A lot of dive potential from J-Team. You got a Renekton, you got a Jarvan, you got a Galio that wants to just get into the fray, and then a Kench to reset the tower aggro. Meanwhile, for Talon, you're looking for those team fights. You're looking for those wombo combos, the Slicing Maelstrom into the Petrifying Gaze, into the Showstopper.
There's so many.
That's the plan here for Talon. They say, we'll go for wombo if you want to try and dive us. Let's go ahead and load onto the Rift for a fourth game of the night.
Fourth game is going to be explosive based on wraps, or it could be an air quote letdown, as we've seen a lot of it during the early phases of the split. Early game jungler doesn't necessarily mean we're going to gank. I don't mean to curse. I don't really mean to curse this match in particular.
The sky is already blood red. I hope this is not a cursed Summoner's Rift game. I'm hoping for a fun League of Legends experience, personally. And you know what? With all the wombo combo, I'm so for it on Talon. I love it. It's we're going to throw like the kitchen sink at this Senna to try and kill her in the late game. Now, to be fair, there is a Kench on the side of J-Team, so that might be a little bit difficult. And a Galio, too. I do not believe, though, this is the changes have gone through yet. We're still on 10.5, so Galio doesn't give a shield on his ultimate. But still, it's the question of, can you get on this Senna, or will she be able to survive?
That is going to be the biggest question here. There is a lot of... I feel like it will all come down to the vision control once again, because I bet Hanabi on this Kennen would really like to find these sweet, sweet flanks. Especially that you only have to worry about Lil V, basically, again. Especially come in late game.
Yeah,
you kill that one single player, that's your win condition, especially in the later phases.
Yeah, you know, she might be able to scale up infinitely, but the scaling don't matter if you can kill her. Death is the best form of CC in League of Legends. Hana, though, going to be starting on his blue side rather than the red. Down in bot lane, already seeing a little bit of a tussle there as Kaiwing ended up using the Haymaker. I want to see, though, where is River looking to path here? Because he's able to kind of sneak around pretty freely. There was no deep vision laid down early. Talon actually have one toward the bot side River. So that does allow River to kind of have free access to where he wants to strike first.
And with that, it seems both junglers will match each other as the River making towards the Krugs. Actually, Hana will possibly go the opposite side, rather.
You can see the jungle matchup between these two players. Currently, River has been the catalyst when it comes to Talon's early mid-game, trying to get his lanes ahead, trying to get Hanabi ahead. As of late, Hanabi in particular, because the last couple of games where Talon were able to succeed, it was kind of the Hanabi show. They got him ahead early on in the lanes, and then were able to snowball that out of control. J-Team it's been the tale of two junglers, literally. They've had themselves Hana, which has been pretty instrumental when it comes to their wins, and they have Lava, which unfortunately just hasn't been able to find success with the team as much.
I think Lava so far had only 2 or 3 games in the PCS, and now we're back with Hana, who you did mention produced a couple of wins for J-Team. Now we see pings coming from River, I suppose. Oh, Hana gonna spot out the wolves of River.
So they both invaded here. This does allow, though, J-Team to fully press in onto the tower, because now with that priority and having that Jarvan nearby, they might be looking for a dive here if they can keep poking down Unified.
That could be the solution as, well, Flash teleport, so an additional support spell is getting taken out, or rather defensive spell is out of the question, so that could be a possibility for J-Team to press on forward for a vulnerable lane. Meanwhile, Candy does have that cleanse. Gonna be a little bit safer laning phase for Candy.
With that vision, though, onto the Raptors, that does give full info to Hana, that he can go back into his jungle without being afraid to possibly be invaded by River on the Lee Sin. And both junglers kind of reset here, as River's going to go through his jungle, uncharacteristically actually not find anything. Usually he has an idea when people invade him. He was maybe looking for a play down in bot lane. It's rather hard here without Kaiwing fully investing into the fight, as he's going to go ahead pop the Q. We can already see that J-Team a little bit scared. Facebreaker going to bring him on back. Hail of Arrows slows down Woody, but unfortunately there's nothing really that River can do.
And forced to go back, and even I think wasting a little bit of time, as you know, Hana already practically removed all of River's camps. Meanwhile, Rest still managed to reset his own wolf camp as he made his way down earlier. So this is an interesting path coming from Hana.
Yeah, and with that too, the Krug is also warded, so they're going to have full knowledge exactly where River has been pretty much for the last 2 minutes. And even saw in that back, unfortunately, River had to go ahead and just buy 2 longswords because he wasn't able to find anything, as it's just been a trade here and there. Mid lane, though, let's see. That's going to force out the flash out of Candy. A nice lick, though, coming out from Woody. Unified is going to be isolated alone. Exhausted is there. Flash on forward. It's not going to be enough, though. It's first blood going on to Woody in the end, as Kaiwing is able to trade back a kill as both 80 carries fall. Neither one gets the kill.
That is an interesting aggressive maneuver, actually, with flash heals all at the same time being utilized, and as well as exhaust. Summoner spells, everything has been basically already burnt. I do get it though. Unified has been chunked down to a huge amount, exhaust being used. Look at all the flashes in the world. Problem is, Lil V had to fall from that exchange, and Woody getting that first blood. And in the meantime, at this point of the match, this is where everyone gets their level 6. And this is what we've been looking forward to, as, you know, that's where the explosion comes. Explosive plays come into the Rift.
Yeah, level 6 online for Talon. He'll have the ultimate from the cannon, as well as the Petrifying Gaze for the Cassiopeia. Unfortunately for like J-Team, other than that one little bit of aggression coming out of the mid lane, I'd like to see Hana try and punish Candy for not having a flash available next time around within the next couple of minutes. Other than that, it's been pretty much dead quiet on the Rift.
It's one of those things, as early game junglers, level 3 junglers, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be all over the place. We've seen 1 or 2 ganks already, on one attempt rather, from River. But I think it's also due to the fact that both of these junglers just wanted to find each other, and because of that invade, Hana though does have Cataclysm.
Cataclysm is there. River is sneaking nearby though, doesn't have his kick available. Still waiting on that level 6 as he stealthily moves in along the vision. Hana looking for a dive here, though, as Unified is going to catch him out. Like we mentioned, level 6 there. Cataclysm brings him on down, and it's going to be the Galio lined up and ready like a bowling pin. It's Unified getting taken down. Taunt is going to land, though, and look at the dive. It's beautiful coming out from J-Team. They're able to find themselves 2 kills for 1. Candy, though, coming down the river, as River himself will get taken down. Candy wants to try and turn something around here, but it's a little bit too late. And unfortunately, Hanabi already using the teleport to get back in lane.
Oh, this could be another.
Oh, all right. Rest is going to at least force out the ultimate. I wasn't expecting him to go that aggressive, but still. Dive coming through for J-Team. You saw that beautiful combo. Cataclysm locks down the carry, and then Galio comes smashing it.
Cataclysm, and then the flash as well. And the timing is so perfect, too, because Unified doesn't have flash. Therefore, it was just easy picking. Great setup. Also, amazing Devour timing as well. Unfortunately, I think Lil V tanked a lot of turret shots over there. That was just interesting. Everyone was just right in front of River. And yet the Q did not land. A lot of sexy hitboxes here and there for J-Team squad.
Yeah, unfortunately, River wasn't even land his Q. So Hana so far has been able to actually outdo River in this early game. I mentioned there wasn't a whole lot of action from the jungle, but there we go. We finally saw that dive. Hana's been able to get himself a bit of a CS lead overall. He's looking pretty good on his showing here against River, which has been known to be one of the most aggressive and most proactive junglers when it comes to the PCS.
And the amusing thing is, this is Talon's air quote fault. They were forcing Hana in that Jarvan based from the draft. And they wanted this. And so far, this J4 has been working wonders for J-Team in the first 10 minutes or so, more or less. Lil V. Gonna get... Oh, root misses though.
Yeah, Hail of Arrows not going to do a whole lot. But still, nonetheless, it is going to be a 1,500 gold lead for J-Team. With this Rift Herald, they could look to try and accelerate either one of these lanes. Want to maybe try and force Candy to have to back off. Talon will respond, though, with the Drake trade immediately.
This is the usual first Dragon, first Rift Herald, where blue side will just get RH, red side will be satisfied getting the Dragon, and from there on, it will be quite an exchange after that. And now this is the typical play, right? Like, you have the Renekton, you want gold funneled over this to rest, so that you'll be able to transition that later on to the next objectives in the next coming minutes. Open that map, give more room for rest to transition that lead.
Interesting there. J-Team decide not to try and take the plates before letting Shelly crash in. Instead, they opt to just get that gold immediately onto rest as Hanabi's able to clear her out. Still only one plate remaining here for his tower. As the question is for now, what does Talon seek to really do here as they're starting to bleed a little bit here in this early game?
Yeah, because you normally want to see their mid-game aggression hold that thought as Unified will get. Okay, yeah. It's just going to be a little bit of harass here and there. Nesty will probably have a little bit of feeling that River and Candy's just nearby. But yeah, it's all about that wombo combo. So therefore, this laning phase will be a little bit slow for Talon, and this is intentional. Despite River, that's enough to activate it ult.
There we go. Rest going to go ahead and jump immediately onto Hanabi. Hanabi forced to use his ultimate. Flash is...
Hanabi, no flash right now, so therefore any sort of aggressive play still have to wait for that Proto Belt to close in the distance and have an effective slicing Maelstrom. But at that point, it's basically you have to wait for Hanabi's E, and that is definitely the go signal. You have to burn a flash to escape this onslaught coming from Rest at this point. And as you can see on your live feed, it looks like the first tower will fall in favor of J-Team.
Yeah, J-Team looking for first brick gold, and it's going to go on over to Rest as well. That finds themselves about 2,500 gold ahead of Talon at 12 minutes with only a 2-kill lead.
This is looking like this is the comfortable start for J-Team. And therefore, what is the answer for River? Because honestly speaking, Talon can afford this because no one from their team is online. Not just yet. But the next coming fights will be very detrimental on what direction this game is going to go, especially in the dragon fight. So vision will be very important to set up for Hanabi's flank. That's the key. That's what they're aiming for here. And Unified, you know, he has 2 deaths, at least 1 item completed already. That's what's going on. And meanwhile, you mentioned we haven't really seen the set support take off yet in the PCS. This could be that chance for later.
Yeah, we've only seen it, I think now this is the third time. 2 times so far. It's been a bit of an underperformer. One of them was from Kaiwing as well, so Talon know the risks associated picking up the pick. This time, though, it's a lot more of a wombo combo than what we saw in that game, and it seems that is going to be Talon's ideal scenario when it comes to the late game team fights, is they're honestly just hoping that they can survive whatever J team is throwing at them in the early to mid game, and then once they can find, like you mentioned, those teleport flanks for Hanabi, things can spiral back into their favor.
Yeah, because Talon Esports is not necessarily bleeding too much. So it's not a humongous lead for it to be, oh no, J-Team is just going to steamroll and take advantage of this Renekton pick. It's not really the case. Talon's doing a good job slowing this pace up, and we see Candy already completing 1 item as well. We see a couple of pings though. There's not a lot of vision to work with for Talon to make any sort of defensive play.
Look at this though, J-Team looking for an invade. You're going to see Hanabi over toward the side. River able to claim his red buff, but you can see the presence now within.
Oh no, he used it.
Oh, Hanabi, like you mentioned, ended up using that E, and that's going to be the Cataclysm coming on down. And I've seen this combo before. They bring in the Galio. They bring the whole team. And ST picks up his second kill of the game.
Patience is a virtue. And again, we did mention the vision is going to be important. And because there was no information at all that there were 3 members right at the jungle of Talon Esports, they never saw that gank coming.
And just like that, Hanabi down. That does force Talon to have to try and make a play here immediately, it seems. They want to try and get themselves this Dragon, but look at the collapse now coming through, and it's a 5v3. Luckily, Dragon does go in favor of Talon as River comes back to try and get the safeguard. Unified is actually able to take down Lil V. The Senna is gone. They're still trying to fight this here on the side of J-Team. They're in the side, in the pit. There's a bunch of AoE coming out. Rest gets himself another kill. Kaiwing now going to get stunned up. Doesn't have the Haymaker available, and it's a double kill now onto the Renekton.
This is what we were talking about. 202 right now on Rest, and he is going to just keep farming up, keep getting stronger at this point of the game. 15-minute mark, second Drake. This is the time for Renekton to shine. River's gonna be okay, but the chain locks, this chain CC, even if Lil V dies, this is not where Ascena comes online. You're there for the heals, you're there for the additional utility in team fights, especially the shield. So if Rest is alive the whole time, he is just gonna have a party.
Yeah, you saw it there. Unified was able to just line up the piercing arrow shot. Still got a chunk of damage on Lil V to get the kill. River was also able to secure the Drake, so it's a trade of the Dragon for a couple kills going back over to J-Team. For Talon, it gets them a little bit closer possibly to the Mountain Soul if they're able to continue to get the pressure around Dragon. Which, you know, given some shields based on the composition we see from J-Team, might help them out in the late game.
Perhaps. Going to be definitely important, as not on top of that, you also have a lot of poke as well, a lot of damage in the early game, late game rather. But with that said, it's all about that. Once you scale to the late game, you also encounter the Senna at that point of the match. So there's going to be a lot of thick healing as well. So damage could possibly be negated at some point. Meanwhile,
with River down on the bot side, this does allow Unified to get a decent amount of damage on the tower. ST might be able to hold that, but I think he's just going to let that fall, as even with the war wins, it'll be one last tick of damage from either one of these minions or Unified to claim the tower. Meanwhile, top side of the map, though, J-Team was able to secure, again, the Rift Herald, the second one of the game for themselves.
Second one for the game. Look at how much control wards, how much vision is invested. Kaiwing will spot out Hana, but because of so much vision on this particular side, River might pull a fast one on J-Team here. Could be the play.
River trying to get sneaky, but J-Team sniff him out, sense that something must be afoot. A whole lot of vision. And taking a look here, there's only a little bit of vision in the river for Talon. Other than that, though, you can already see J-Team already starting to suffocate a little bit of Talon's map pressure. Mainly, it's just this outer tier tower that's acting like a last bastion of light for Talon when it comes to this midsection of the map.
Agreed, and there's at least that deep ward near that Raptor camp. It could be two things. You track either Hana, or you set up a flank in the mid lane for Hanabi later on. Except Hanabi used to teleport already, so I suppose that will not be available anytime soon. Tons of picks going on here and there. That mid lane, again, is the only one left standing for both of these teams. And potentially both of these squads would like to open that up already. So a lot of vision established here by the Riverside.
Speaking of River, he's still path in here, trying to find ways to maybe catch J-Team off. J-Team, though, seem content, just trying to let Levi scale harder and harder into the later part of the game. Starting to see items also come online, at least for Talon in particular. You got the Proto Belt that was already cleared by Hanabi earlier on in the match, but you now have the fully stacked tier for Candy as well as the Rylai. So a little bit of slowing potential there to help kite back some of these fights. Hourglass, though, for Nestea and the Proto Belt for when he goes for the big dives.
Big dives, it has boosted up J-Team really, really well, and early game damage for Galio is actually more than decent, actually. So since there's just so much squishies on the side of Talon Esports, it's going to be quite an easy burst of damage at the initial engage from Nestea later on.
And you see now, 30 seconds on the Mountain Drake. J-Team already looking to position themselves, get the ward coverage available, try and force Talon to, maybe step out of place, feel a little bit uncomfortable. Hanabi does not have teleport, so he has to actually stay nearby if they want to go for a fight. Does have flash available for the engage if he wishes to do so. You see Woody. We'll get a quick lick there. Hanabi over toward the side. Teleport is going to be coming out here from Unified. You also have Hana nearby. Let's see, though. Do they want to try and go in for this play? Rest is trying to position himself. Cataclysm into the Galio ultimate. Everyone disperses, though, immediately. Chain of Corruption instantly on the re-engage. Nestea is forced to go into that stopwatch. Kaiwing uses the Haymaker. He himself will go golden, and no one has fallen just yet. Now the re-engage again onto Hanabi, but Rest not able to do much else, and no one falls. It's just a ton of summoners blown.
Talon Esports has to be careful. There is wave building at bot side, even the Rift Herald marching there. So that will be a huge charge if allowed. If there's the charge in, that's a lot of value on towards that Rift Herald.
Let's take another look here. Hana, I like the play here, and if it wasn't for all these flashes, Talon would have found themselves in a whole lot of trouble.
Would have been the perfect wombo combo even. The Chain of Corruption connects actually as J-Team repositions to not allow that to connect to everybody. And at that point, it was basically every Talon member just trying to disengage from that fight. No one dies, but flashes have been burnt, and that will be valuable in the next J-Team fight.
Now the question is, you gotta actually take that fight while these summoners are down. So there's a little bit of window here for J-Team. They can deny some vision away from Talon. You can see another flank from the Jarvan once again into that combo. Ultimates are going to be coming online in about a minute. So we'll see what does J-Team look to do. On top of that, they were able to secure the Mountain Drake. That's denying it away from Talon, so it makes that Soul an extra 5 minutes away from when Talon are able to secure another Drake. All in all, though, J-Team still sitting about 5,000 gold ahead, is now Baron is an option for these teams.
And there's a lot of space to work with, too, for J-Team. They've established more room for themselves to gain control over the whole map, especially, again, that Rift Herald drop from earlier. Got the charge in before Kaiwing managed to get back to base, so it's going to be too late. And as you can see, Hanabi defending that really, really well.
Look at this, so lots of pings coming out from J-Team. Woody trying to pressure into the jungle. Having that ultimate available on the Kench can help try and maneuver the team. And look at that, dive going to come on in. They just want to go ahead and try and collapse here onto Candy. Going to get the root, petrifying gauge is there. But look at that, you're going to have a teleport now coming out from Hanabi on the cannon. But no, it gets interrupted by Rest in the bot lane. And there it is, J-Team are able to find the dive without losing a member. Now River, though, able to connect onto the queue. Another teleport coming on down. Showstopper is there, but still, it's just not enough damage at this point. And now it's going to be an odd man advantage in favor of J-Team. J-Team as Hanabi can't join the fight.
Hanabi can join, is going to walk manually over there, and that's just another tower getting taken down. Candy's going to be that sacrifice, but in return, no one dies on the side of J-Team. This is one of those things where there's not a lot of vision to work with for Talon Esports to foresee this aggressive maneuver, especially you have a Galio on top of things as well. Candy tried to outplay. Nesty was almost dead at that point, and thank heavens he does have the Zhonya's. Kaiwing tried his best, but the root and everything else just followed through. That teleport looked like Rest came from the belly of Woody.
Yeah, behold, surprise, it's a Renekton. On top of that, too, Hanabi, who's been needed to be such an impact. Oh, never mind. There's the Cataclysm. There's no summoners. They at least get the stopwatch there for Unified, but he's going to get caught out. So much damage raining through. Kaiwing, though, Haymaker comes back to try and turn back some of the damage, and Kaiwing is able to survive. And now Petrifying Gauge coming out from Candy, maybe a little bit too late, as Rest gets the stun off, but Talon are able to find themselves safety underneath the tower still.
Root on Rest, everything's going to be fine. They have really nice wave clear to deny this onslaught from J-Team, but the rest of the waves are slowly piling up. Rest is just probably going to just remove this ward to scare them away. And right now, because of the backs, they spotted the backs. Pushing that wave in, getting that mid lane tower will be easier now.
For Talon, we talked about, having a big wombo combo available to them themselves, but it just seems so far that J-Team have had themselves an easier time executing on their composition. Pretty much Hana just jumps in, and again, it's another Galio ultimate, and Unified doesn't have the safety now of a stopwatch for the next one.
It is a different setup for sure, with the jungle pickup from either River and Hana here. Cataclysm has a better setup for the wombo combos, and therefore, you dive into the Lee Sin, you could potentially be obliterated immediately. But so far, so good for J-Team. They have complete control. Still have to worry about, Candy's damage output later on, for sure. And as well as Unified with the Chain of Corruptions. The most reliable engage tool that you have for Talon Esports would be Hanabi here on the Kennen. We haven't really seen the teleport place just yet, because before that could happen, J-Team keeps forcing that one out.
And it seems like Talon just have a weakness against these individual squads. They've lost twice to Alpha. They're now looking at possibly going down twice to J-Team here, as J-Team beat them in the first round robin. Talon are able to take down teams that are equal or above them in the standings. When it comes to some of these bottom mid-pack teams, they just seem to struggle.
It's supposedly going back to the concept of where we see a lot of upsets coming from, the former LSC teams. Stun going in. Oh, Bissell Voyage!
Oh boy, Unified, he's caught out. There's nowhere for him to run. Kaiwing Haymaker comes through. River trying to go for a kick. He's not able to get to safety because there's another player of J-Team waiting in behind the tower. Candy gets caught out. He's forced to flash away, and there's a decent amount of damage. Petrifying Gaze is going to land, and Candy finds himself a kill. Hanabi nearby on the fight, but he doesn't have flash to engage on the cannon. And now a taunt over the wall coming out from Nesty. He's able to find his target. Kaiwing now the next possible target for J-Team. He gets stunned up. Haymaker's there, but his shield gets shredded apart by Rest and the squad.
Beautiful dive there coming from J-Team. You never see it coming. That was an aggressive under the tower Abyssal Voyage. I think that was one of the few execution that we've seen so far. Beautiful setup, like the communications here. Confidence coming from Nesty. Trust in the team. They've got their target. Unified is down. River not able to do much here as the next taunt connects once more. Kicking River though to safety, meets Candy, and actually meets his own demise. The shield is not going to be enough. Again, Candy, you have to worry about the damage output coming from the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, you can see there now on your live feed as well. Dragon is going to get secured by J-Team as they continue to stack that in their favor. And Nesty with a beautiful flash over the wall, able to land that stun, and unfortunately Candy has nowhere to run.
Candy gonna fall as Kaiwing will be the next one in that replay. Oh, Talon Esports. Again, I suppose it's more of those early game aggression that has been the constant weakness for Talon Esports. They tried this stint against AHQ. They were the ones who were extra aggressive. But this time, I think it's also due to Hana's great tracking and J-Team's good vision control to just deny any sort of early game aggression pre-level 6 from River.
Yeah, unfortunately for River, we haven't seen a whole lot come out of him in that early game. And Hana actually had a great showing here. I was a bit concerned which jungle we were going to see. There's been games where Hana's been very proactive. This time around, it helped out getting that dive down in bot lane. This time around, it's just looked so much better from him. Meanwhile, when they've played with, you know, Lava, there's been some questions about, you know, just the team overall when it comes to just their aggression and a lot of their decision-making. For us now, you got J-Team with about an 8,000 gold lead. It seems like they're confident to go for these plays. They just need to look to try and finish out this game.
Yeah, they have a lot of leads right now. Look at that triple Merc Treads on J-Team. So quite, because of the wombo combos, because of the hard CC that Talon brings, you know, J-Team adjusted accordingly towards this composition in general. That's going to be Hanabi canceling out the teleport, or rather report back to base. But meanwhile, Rest and Hanabi both have their teleports up. Vision being installed over the jungle of Talon Esports could be potentially the play for Hanabi. We've never seen the Slicing Maelstrom, the massive Slicing Maelstrom, not just yet. I feel like that could be the key. That is the wombo combo that we've been looking forward to.
You see now J-Team pushing in. It's about 2.5 minutes when we come on to our next mountain. You can already see, though, J-Team has been able to establish a vision line up through the river and just into the jungle of Talon. Talon, they have to check in these dark corridors. It's pretty spooky. We saw darkness coming out during the Machi game.
Yeah.
This time, though, it is actually on the rift, as Talon are too afraid to even push up and contest this vision.
And because of that, J-Team will be satisfied with just establishing vision right there in the jungle of Talon Esports and then just starting the Baron right there on them. All the waves are shoving towards Talon Esports, so this will be the most comfortable spot that they would initiate this take on this objective. Now, Talon, where are the wards for that flanking Hanabi? It is not going to be, it's non-existent. Therefore, Hanabi will come from the front. It's going to be telegraphed. It's not going to be a surprise.
Teleport is available for Hanabi, but he's already here for the fight. 6,000 health on the Baron. You can see here, J-Team, without the amount of CC, they actually don't do a lot of damage to this Baron. You can show that their damage numbers are a little low. They're all about getting that burst with that wombo combo. So that might be a little bit of a sign here that, you know, Talon, late game, if they're able to get onto Levi, that might be the opportunity that they find to take this game back in their favor. But I think it requires J-Team to make a misstep.
It is definitely going to be difficult for Talon Esports, and missteps, you mentioned missteps, but J-Team is just playing so carefully right now, despite having the gold lead, despite having the kill lead, having the immense amount of damage at this point of the game. Remember, Rest in the Renekton does fall off eventually. You will dive and you will die. There's Candy unified basically, ready to deal an intense amount of damage onto you. Meanwhile, you've had Hanabi. Hanabi has passed his prime in dealing a sufficient amount of damage, but he's just going to be there for additional CC for Talon Esports.
The rest continues to push down toward the bot lane. For J-Team, a victory here is pretty monumental, actually, especially taking down Talon twice during the double round robin. It helps them try and actually jump back up into the possible winner side of the bracket. They currently sit just on the bubble, where if Hong Kong Attitudes start finding themselves tracking back up in the standings, J-Team are at the possible mercy of their performance. Here we go, though. Third Mountain Drake for J-Team, and it doesn't look like Talon are going to try and respond, as they are continue to just pace this out and hope that J-Team overstep their bounds, look for too much vision possibly, as Talon have been able to replenish the top side of the map with wards.
J-Team has a lot of good control over the jungle of Talon Esports, therefore denying any sort of aggressive flanks. And I feel like that could be what Talon needs to do, because once you see the cannon, it kind of gets a little bit telegraphed, because there's only one way to go in. Proto Belt, flash, and then you ult. You dash in, you ult. So, because he's always very visible, you know when to back away and try again, and they'll be satisfied with it, just getting that tower after.
There you go. Tower's going to go down 6-1 of the game. Now a 9,000 gold lead for J-Team. Talon, it's this continual, we'll just wait this out. We'll hope that we can win a team fight trying to defend our base. River was maybe looking for a play up toward top lane, but ST is just able to clear out that wave. Kaiwing does the same. It's a bit of a rinse and repeat from both of these squads. Let the other team take the objective, try and replenish Vision. Vision goes down, Talon backs off, rinse and repeat pretty much. And it's starting to get a little bit like a broken record when it comes to the playstyle of J-Team. I would like to see them actually go for more plays here, because Talon is kind of just letting this one stall out.
We've seen, I think this has been a popular trend for the former LMS squads in general, on where, despite having that humongous lead, still afraid to do Baron, which is understandable because your consistent damage output is just Lil V. If Lil V falls, then it might be game over. They don't want to lose that lead. They've been building up to this, and probably they're satisfied waiting out for the Dragon Soul to come later on.
And you also got, like, you know, Nesty, not to discredit him, he is tanky, but he himself also do a decent amount.
True. We've seen a lot of chain taunts in, locking them down. And that's going to be Baron. So, Talon, this is literally the opportunity where they're in that small pit. Hanabi's time to shine.
But look, there's no vision there for Talon. They weren't able to push up. There wasn't anything they could really find, and they're walking in blindly here. There you go. You got the control ward on down. Kaiwing, gotta be a little bit careful. Hana looking for the Cataclysm. Unified, able to flash out to safety. River gets over the wall. Maybe now there's an opportunity here for Talon now that everything has been burned, but Kaiwing gets taken out. Unfortunately, the set just doesn't do anything during these team fights. Hanabi is caught out toward the side. He has to flash to safety, but he won't even do that. And J-Team now take down 2 members of Talon, and death timers are about 50 seconds each.
That's a lot of time for J-Team to just take this Baron without any contest whatsoever. Rest is here just for the zoning, just to keep an eye on River.
I don't know if he's there for the zoning. He might just go for a kill if Candy's not careful. Unified, he's the main target. Candy just walks by and realizes his carry has been taken down. Rest now in a 1v2. River can't help him anymore as Woody's come on over, and Candy has to watch himself. Oh, Rest is just playing with his food at that point. Candy ends up using his ultimate on absolutely nothing. River flashes away. Kaiwing comes back to rejoin. That's going to be the face break. But the Baron has already been taken by J-Team, and there's minions in top lane. Rest flashing forward. He's unstoppable on the Renekton.
This is what happens when the typical early game starts out with getting that Rift Herald, getting at least 1 kill before that happens, and then just funneling all that turret plate gold towards Rest. And he had the typical Renekton comfy phase, and he's just massive right now with his items. And there you go, J-Team.
J-Team look to close out the game. It looks like demons are hard to kill here for Talon, as once again, they will fall to J-Team during the round robin, and Talon are starting to fall in the standings as J-Team make their way back up. River trying to do his best. Hanabi finally gets an ultimate, but guess what? It's 36 minutes too late as Talon are stuck on their fountain, and J-Team claim the victory.
That's gonna be a 2-0. J-Team defeats Talon once again. This match was J-Team at 8th place, Talon at 4th place. Things are looking a little bit shaky for Talon Esports.
Well, Talon are now at the risk of dropping lower, and Dragons can actually overtake them now.
That is a plot twist.
Yeah, what has happened to Talon? I don't understand. Like, they had all these ultimates. They're like, yeah, this is the plan. You know, Hanabi goes on in, and then we didn't see an ultimate from Hanabi.
We didn't see the wombo combos
until like 36 minutes when the Nexus was being taken.
Yeah, because coming into this, the PCS, and all of our predictions of the top teams at number 1 was either HQ or Talon Esports. We were correct at the first round robin, but now the turned of tables here.
The turned of
tables, and it's actually unexpected, and I absolutely enjoy it. But Talon, that was not the Talon I've seen ever in the first round robin.
No, that was like the least proactive Talon we have seen. They kind of just let their composition get taken down. I'm a little unfortunate there because like Unified and Kaiwing, like I really don't like this set support pick that they have been trying to force. Let's take another look here. I like to see Kaiwing try and roam in the early game, help out River try and get stuff going, but we couldn't see that at all this game.
And because of that, because of, you know, how they weren't as aggressive as we expected it to be, actually I wanted to see the Talon aggressiveness that we saw when they faced AHQ at the time. And it wasn't really there. Their composition was, yes, scaling, but locking in that cannon means they're aiming for these explosive fights, and it wasn't there at all. It only appeared at the last part of the game where J-Team was already knocking on the base of Talon Esports.
Yeah, no, the most explosive fights were usually the ones that Talon were victims of, as the victory does go over to J-Team that pretty much set them up like bowling pins, just knocked them down. That was the go-to play there for J-Team. Hana sets it all up, and then you have the Galio just crashing in like a meteor.
It is just so telegraphed, and it's just beautiful because you can wombo it into different things. And the first one we saw was, just as you mentioned, the Cataclysm into the taunt Galio. The next drop was just plain, you know, Nesty taunting someone, and then apparently Abyssal Voyage to just finish off the kill. And rest to the top side of the map definitely had a fun time. It was the typical Renekton game that we see. Get one kill at the early phases of the game. Just one gank. One gank is fine. Get Rift Herald. Unleash the Herald on towards the turret platings. Just funnel that all onto the Renekton. And there you go. The next team fight, the Renektons is just going to kill your carries.
Yeah, with that, Talon now fall down to, what is it now, almost a 7-5 record?
7-5 now, Paul.
That's a rough decline here we're starting to see from Talon, and I have to question now, does it come down to the drafts? Is it something with coaching? Are the players just not finding themselves to be motivated? Because you see River, we talked about River being the main driving catalyst. He only had 5,000 damage. He barely had any damage. MVP, though, it is going to go over to Nesty for once here for JT.
That actually really happy to see him on this Galio. I mean, we've only had, I think, 2 or 3 players that play Galio, which is Rex from Liab, and this one, Nesty. This is a perfect game for him, 509 on this Galio, and he initiated most of these really nice fights with, you know, Hana in the jungle that managed to set that up.
Yes. I almost feel like you kind of wish you could give MVPs to both of them.
That's true.
In the end, Nesty, knowing when to pull the trigger, was able to secure the MVP on the Galio. So congratulations on over to him, as well as J-Team, which of course I do believe they have to play one more game tonight. They're playing a late game up against Liab, so there's an opportunity for them to pick up actually 2 wins tonight. And that would actually climb them, I think, above Liab in the standings.
That's
and then
scary.
That's just a massive swing, again, from J-Team. It's week to week with this team. They started off pretty strong, then they fell, and they dropped like 4 games. Week 3 was kind of and now this week it's just the upsurge once again that could maybe make their way into the winner's bracket of playoffs.
That's all about, I guess, the adjustments coming from the first round robin. And just as you mentioned, they're facing Liab tonight. Liab came up from a loss. J-Team won today. Mindset. We've seen that is extremely important here in the PCS. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and as you guys saw, Hong Kong Attitude going to be taking on Resurgence. It's going to be the battle of the bottom of the table. Rather important, though, for HKA to take home the victory, and same with Resurgence. Every game matters when you're this far below in the standings. We're going to go ahead, though, and take a short break. When we come back, it's going to be more action from the PCS.